Hi everyone, I'm going to introduce you to the new LRP 32x Spec 4.1 engine. This is a new release from LRP. This engine has been in development for 1.5 or 2 years with the inputs and feedback from most of the guys in the HPI Savage group, some of the quality issues that we've encountered, some of the performance issues regarding the carburetor tuning, and overall performance of the 32 spec engine. So what's new on this engine? As I said before, they had the previous version had issues with the carburetor being most of the time too rich. So the carburetor has been revised to have not only 3 needles, but each needle has its own dial, so you could actually remember where your starting point was and where your tuning is for that particular setup. Changing your fuel nitro content or temperature, ambient temperature changes, you could dial in and remember the setting for each condition. So the older carburetor had 2 needles, this one has 3. The engine head is also new. You could see on the top, the marking is now showing the Spec 4.1 logo. The marking on the crankcase here is also new. ZR32X is shown. Other new features include the turbo head design with a turbo plug. The older or the previous version Spec 4 had a standard plug. So this video is mainly around how to convert your Spec 32X, which comes with a sealed backplate, into a drop-in Rotorstart or Pullstart for your Savage. When you buy the 32X, you will only get the engine in this form. No starting mechanism on the back because they were designed for truggies and buggies. So you will need a Rotorstart plate. This I have is an LRP version of this sent to me from LRP, part number 38146. But I will show you on the link where you could get an eBay version of this. You will also need the one-way bearing backplate that engages the pin on the crankshaft. So as you may know, Golden Lion or SH makes the 32 LRP engines. They also make this backplate that goes on their S1D or 28 size engines. It also works on this LRP, the same crankcase. So you could get this SH backplate with a one-way bearing and screws from A-Main for like $19. I will also show you the link, A-Main link to purchase this. I think the price on eBay for the Rotorstart is around $12. So a total, so 19 or 20, 12 for this will require extra on top of the engine, which I think is $224 right now at A-Main. The previous version was $197, so the price has gone up. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show how to change your Spec 4.1x into a Rotorstart for your Savage. So first thing we do, we're going to kind of turn your crankshaft so that the piston is all the way up, so we remove the back plate and not hit the skirt. So remove these 4 screws. And guys, this is a very simple process. You just have to find the parts. And I've done this to all my Savages that have the 32X in it, because I prefer the 32X over the 32, because the 32X comes with a thermal sleeve on the carburetor to prevent the engine casing from heating up the carburetor. So that's one good thing. The other thing is that the number of ports on the 32X is 7 versus 5 on the 32. So here I've removed the back plate, and you could see the crankshaft. There's a pin on there. So all we have to do is remove your packaging for the back plate. And here it comes with the one-way bearing already, right? It's already there. And it has the starting shaft. Everything is on here. So you just buy it, remove it from the packaging, and you install. So how do you install? So this notch right here, or protrusion, goes to the left, upper left side, right? So you put it in, you wiggle your camshaft until it sits in those slots provided by the one-way bearing. There we go. So it sits flush, and then you just tighten the screws. So I'm doing this video live, no edits. So these 4 screws, let's see, these are these are 2.5 screws. I don't use Loctite on these screws, mainly because blue Loctite will not hold with the temperature, so it's pointless. And because these screws tend to be very soft, you don't want them to be too tight in there, so you can't get them loose, and then you strip the head. So I never Loctite these. I just keep checking as you run your car. You look for leaks. And if there's no leak, they're fine. If there are leaks, it's easy to get it out the truck and check your screws. But I don't see the need to Loctite these. And as you tighten, you check to see that you're spinning the camshaft, so it's in there perfect. So I just ordered 2 of these back plates because I got 2 of these engines from LRP for reviewing. I've made posts on these before. So one will be used for a raffle for a project, Wounded Warriors, a Savage I'll be raffling. So now we're good. It's in place. The back plate is. Now the last thing to do now is to put on the Rotorstart plate. I prefer Rotorstart over Pullstart. That's my personal preference, but this also works for the Pullstart as well. So the Pullstart will come with screws already attached. So let's see if it will go. And you could decide which way you want to orient. So let's orient it this way. So orient it so my rotor start is pointing to the right, looking from the back of the truck. And you could have it going the opposite way if you want. And I think these screws are M2 screws. X, so put them in. Sometimes there's one of these, one of these four will have a hard time going in. It's plastic, and what I find I typically have to kind of angle it up a little bit for it to find the hole. But all four are in right now, nice and snug. And you see it's connected, so you can see it turning. So this is how you convert your 32X into a Pullstart Rotorstart engine for your Savage.